Good morning. I am Anatoly Anatolyeva, and this is Patriots Must Rise. I was sent this clip. It's a TikTok. You guys all know how I feel about TikTok. But this young man makes some really good points, and I wanted to flesh it out. So, here we go. He wants to know why it is that at his age he can't live on his own because he can't afford it. All right. Here's the basic plan. Boiled down in, as he said, crayon eating terms. The powers that be don't want you independent. Because if you're independent, you can afford to take time off. If you can afford to take time off, you can afford to drive across the country and cause another January 6th event, or even better, actually blow up the Capitol building like we should have. You see, if you can't afford to live, you can't afford to say no to work. If you can't afford to say no to work, you're not taking time off. So, all this is basically by design. Yes, it's inflation, but also it has a lot to do with the fact that people are willing to pay the prices that the real estate companies or the management companies are asking for the property. It boils down to this. And I use the medical insurance scam a lot because it's the easiest to see. If nobody is willing to pay the prices that the hospitals are charging for medical care, the prices go down. But we have medical insurance. Medical insurance ensures that you can pay the prices that the hospitals are asking. So you don't see how much the hospital is actually charging you because they're charging the medical insurance. If we do away with medical insurance, the cost of medical care is actually driven down. It's basically the opposite of supply and demand. Just like if nobody is willing to pay the prices for a $5 loaf of bread, the cost of a loaf of bread will go down. Same with gas and so on. But we, as a collective, refuse to let go of certain things. So the suppliers of these things that we refuse to let go of have a buyer's market. Or a seller's market, I'm sorry, where everything is dictated by what the seller wants to receive for the goods. What we always need to remember is the buyer has control of the prices as well. All right, so here's the clip. I really think it's something that we need to address. And we need to address it at more than a political level. We need to address it at a social economic level.
Minimum wage, and I cannot afford to live.
Explain it.
I do not want to hear the pull yourself up from your bootstraps, work 90 hours a week. That's not the goal, guys.
No, it's not the goal.
That
should not
be our standard.
Agreed. Should not be our standard.
I'm so fucking tired of people being complacent with this uniparty, both of them fucking us over. When my parents were my age, they both made less than half of what I make, and they lived alone. I cannot afford to live anywhere alone. A 1-bedroom apartment, $1,800. 2-bedroom apartment.
This generation is locked out of living on their own.
Who the fuck can afford that? It is embarrassing to come out and say that it is a struggle to survive right now. But
I'm sorry, dude. I feel for you.
Many people are struggling. And do not get me started on what my grandparents were doing. They $3,000 house. And yes, I understand inflation and all of the bullshit that they have been pulling with the Fed. Why are we allowing it?
Why are we allowing it?
And then I clock out of my shift. I am tired.
Big one coming up here.
I have to go home. And I check the news. Another 60 fucking billion to a country nobody can figure out on a map. What are we doing? Where has the plot gone? We have lost it, folks. We have fucking lost it.
Stop protesting about stuff and actually start doing it. You want lower prices for food? Start bartering, or only go to the farmers markets. You want lower prices for housing? Be willing to sleep in a tent for a while. If enough people actually jump on board, this obscene economy that is completely artificial will collapse. And we will start seeing actual prices that are represented for what the goods are, instead of what the seller wants it to be sold for. I'm Anatoly Anatoly, and this is Patriots Must Rise.